everyone, Niki here with the Truck Boss Show. Today we are with our new friend Chuck Melton, founder of Melton Technologies. Thanks for joining us today, Chuck.
Thank you, Niki.
So before we get started, can you tell us exactly what Melton Technologies is and what you all do?
Yes, we are right now we're focusing on a web-based TMS system, but we have been doing TMS systems for 36 years. Mm-hmm. I founded the company as ITS Incorporated in 1984. I came out of trucking, so that's kind of was the inspiration for the company. But yes, we do order entry, load assignment, dispatching. We have an integrated driver app, and we have APIs that link to things like ELDs and fuel services and accounting systems. So we want to be the core of the truck management system. It doesn't necessarily have to be a trucking company even. It can be a fleet. We've dealt with private fleets. We've dealt with manufacturers. But yes, primarily we are a TMS system.
So you said you came out of trucking. Can you talk about that a little bit more and maybe where your passion came from for this software?
Oh, absolutely. There was two significant events, two earth-shattering events that affected trucking and affected me, and that was the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 and the deregulation of trucking. So at the same time, they introduced the IBM PC in 1980. In my career, I had always been in kind of conflict with the IT department. So I went to the president of the company, and he allowed me to get my own PC, and we started developing costing apps right there on the PC there at the time. There was another, even more overriding event. The deregulation had put my company in jeopardy. You knew that unionized LTL carriers had a short lifespan after regulation. So I said, this company's not going to survive, so what am I going to do? So I talked to my parents, and they provided me with a little bit of capital. I got a compact portable computer, and I kind of set out with my own concept of helping small trucking companies. And in the late 80s, Qualcomm had approached us and asked if we were interested in linking to their satellite tracking. They really weren't interested in the entire suite of products we had. They were only interested in that link. So in 1997, I bought the company and renamed it Melton Technology. And basically, I'm doing what I always wanted to do with a lot more powerful tools than I've ever had. So that's kind of the passion. I mean, the passion's still the same. The targeted market's still the same. It's just I have a much more powerful tools.
Right. So how is your software beneficial to its users?
Mobility and connectivity. And even before this pandemic, we were seeing a major change in trucking and the supply chain. What we believe is that the modern day trucking company, the modern day fleet, the modern day manufacturer who's interested in tracing his shipments all the way to the end, they have to be in some kind of cloud type environment because that's the easiest to both assemble and distribute information against multiple parties. Shippers, receivers, drivers, dispatchers, third-party people who may be interested, whoever the stakeholders are in that shipment need to be informed. And a lot of these niche applications become very important.
I was just going to say, because you did mention about the pandemic and how it's changed the trucking space. And so how has that affected your efforts?
Good point. Well, even though we're into this cloud product, we've been doing this 36 years. So most of our customers are still on a older desktop kind of system. So the first thing we do is we're going into our existing customer base and saying, now is the time you really need to consider the cloud because of various reasons. And we already had this message before the pandemic of, shipment visibility and, changing supply chains. And that's why you need to be on the cloud. So after the pandemic, we kept that same message, but we added to this mobility and connectivity that, there's going to be so many scenarios. Our new motto is expect the unexpected. you're going to have to be prepared for your dispatcher not coming in, for a driver not coming in, for a worker not coming in. So the message now is you can do your job anywhere, anytime, on any device.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, Chuck. And remember, you can go to www.meltontechnologies.com to find out more information. And that is it for this segment of the Truck Boss Show. We'll see you on the next one.